to keep good relationships with everybody underneath you and everybody around. Martial, which apparently I have none of, is important for generals. It helps me keep peace in my kingdom and also fight some battles. Stewardship, tax income, help me the size of our realm that we can control is all based on stewardship. Intrigue is for plots and murders and all that jazz, and learning is just kind of to increase our technology rate, which is not really that useful in the game right now. So there's the primary stats. You also notice that we have these little attributes right here. Attributes are interesting. These things change throughout the game depending on the events that take place and the course that you want to take your little guy through. This is our learning. The first one is always our learning. It's what kind of main trait we have. We are a charismatic negotiator, which gives us +1 to intrigue, +6 diplomacy, +1 to fertility, or learning, +5% fertility. That one's fine. There's three levels of each. That's the third level. You can see 3 little stars there. There's basically a warrior one, a kind of a diplomat one, and a learning one. And there's 4 levels for each. So, look at our traits. We are very cynical, apparently, which gives us a lower piety, but better intrigue. Shy, which lowers our diplomacy. Very lustful, which increases our fertility, which is nice for the beginning here, since we're going to need some children. And also lowers our piety. Very patient, which is one of the better ones as well. Gives us better defense when we're commanding troops on the defense, and kind of a little bit of bonus to everything else there. You can see intrigue, diplomacy, stewardship, learning. Looks like the this is just our score, piety, prestige. You'll notice these little things up here. That's our wealth, prestige. Prestige is how much, basically our success and how people, which success people see us. Piety, how godly we are. That's our dempsey size. We can have, we're 1 of 3. We can have 3 plots of land basically before we go over our limit and start incurring penalties. And that's the realm size, which is basically the size of everybody under our control. And our score, we haven't started yet for our score. Score is cumulative as you go on. He dies, score continues. Same thing with a bit with prestige, although you do lose a lot of your prestige when your next guy takes over. So let's take a look at our vassals. These are our vassals and their opinions. You'll notice these are all counts. Those are the people directly underneath us are basically counts, except for the people that are in our direct lands. That's the mayor that we looked at before, and the bishop. They're also technically our vassals. And this is our opinion of us and how much tax they give us. You notice right now, these guys don't give us a lot of tax. We need to increase the tax rate if we want to. That will piss them off and make them angry. You also notice that this is their opinion. The higher the opinion, the more likely they are to give us troops, because we don't control them directly. We just indirectly control them. If they rebel, we can imprison them and all that jazz. Bishops are a little bit different. This is the loyalty of the Pope, and this is the loyalty to us. If the loyalty of the Pope is higher than the loyalty to us, all this tax here goes to the Pope. So the Pope gets mega rich. So one of our kind of our priorities will also be to get our bishop to give us more money. This is our court, all the people that kind of reside in our lands, who they are, what they do. You'll see the people, the marshal, the mayor, where's the mayor? He's here somewhere. There's our bastard, a few other people. And you'll see our one ally, who is through marriage. And, oh yes, it's this gentleman right here. He is our ally, our lone ally in the world, despite the fact that he is part of our realm anyway, so he's expected to contribute to anything. Alright, so let's go through the kind of the top toolbars here. We got the council. Now the council is fairly important. They all have these are who they are. The chancellor is this gentleman, the marshal is this gentleman. You can pick these from anybody in your entire realm, your realm size, not just the lands you directly control. So you want obviously somebody that's with a high diplomacy to be your chancellor, high marshal to be your marshal, steward to be your steward, etc., etc., etc. Right now we only have this one territory, so we don't need to be doing a lot. What we are going to do is we're going to try to improve some relations, improve our domestic relations with and our reinforcement rates at home. And we're going to try to collect some taxes by the steward here. Taxes, you can see, local tax modifier goes up a bit, and every now and then it's possible you could have these events where an additional tithe is collected. Unfortunately, you can also have the peasants attack the steward and kill him, but not as likely. As far as the spy master goes, we're going to have to scheme. Scheme means you can kind of uncover plots against us and other people. And nothing for the court to laws. These are the laws of the land. We have several different levels of laws. This is the ducal laws, so this is the laws that apply above everything. It's kind of like right now the federal laws. Each of our counts also have their own state laws or count laws. They have to obey ours, but they also take precedence over their own as well. Alright, so we are currently in an agnatic cognatic gravelkind, which means that you can see women can inherit on the same grounds as men. I'm sorry, that's absolute. We're in agnatic. So only males inherit unless there's no males, and then the women can inherit as well. We're in gravelkind, which means that all of our titles are basically divvied up amongst the number of people, direct claimants we have. So let's say we were to take all of France, we would have many, many, many ducal titles. We would have title of Poitiers, of Gascon, Aquitaine, Toulouse, all that stuff. They would all be divided evenly between all our children that we have. So if we have 10 different children, see exactly why there were so many problems back in these times as far as inheritance and warring amongst each other. We will probably be changing one of these a little bit. Gravelkind's fine, but I actually prefer primogeniture, which means the oldest child of the ruler inherits all the titles. Makes everybody else, all the other children, a little bit more angry, but at least you keep all the land that you have under your control, in your control, it doesn't divide them up. You do take a hit to your dempsey size when you do that, but right now one of the strongest in the game is elected monarchy. Basically, as long as you're good standings with most of your people, you get to choose whoever inherits the crown, which helps you when you have a very slow child who's going to inherit your lands and he's not the best as far as his stats go. You can basically elect somebody else who's a better child of yours who has better stats. Very historical, obviously, in this time period. Not a lot of elected monarchies going on. There's a few scattered amongst the areas, but yeah. So if you power game, elected monarchy is definitely the way to go. We're not going to do that right now. We're going to stay in our kind of feudal world. These are the laws. We can increase the levies of basically the number of troops that the people hand us, and then our counts give to us, increases or decreases their opinion of us. Same thing with taxation. Right now we're not taxing them all. We probably will be very shortly. Give them at least a 10% tax on their income so they can support us a bit. So that's the feudal ones. The city ones, we basically have these are for the counts, these are for the mayors, these are for the bishops. Exact same stuff. technology. Technology goes up very, very slow. There's military economy and culture, and there's some categories based on all these various things. Not a lot are too important right now. Like speed goes up so slow that we do on legalism. We're going to focus, like instead of focus, basically, we're just going to focus on legalism because that, wait, yes, it's a majesty. That increases density size once we get it, so we can get a little more land directly underneath us. We're going to keep farming, which increases our castle tax, because right now all we really have is that one castle. And over here, right now bows are fine. It doesn't really matter at this stage in the game. Eventually we'll figure out which troops we specialize in, and we'll try to go that direction. Military, looking at our military. This is the problem with starting out so small. You can see from our density here, we can raise a possible of 294 men. We have 199 available. So we can raise 294 men. If all our vassals are raised, we can also raise an additional 463 men. Unfortunately, if for some reason all our vassals became pissed off at us, that means that and they united, got together and decided they didn't want us in charge anymore, they can raise 463 troops. We can only raise 294 troops. We'd be in for a world of hurt. They would basically try to, they basically take us. Count Vance here, he's the one that controls those two counties. He has 301 all by himself, and kind of down through here. The longer you have troops raised, the more of a kind of a opinion hit they take towards you, unless you're in a defensive war. So it's something else to remember. Hire some mercenaries, try to turn the tide. They're very expensive, as you can see. They cost 90 and have a monthly cost of 70. Oh, sorry, those are the ships. Like we go ahead and get the Saxon band. If walled Saxon band, it costs us 75 initially and 6 per turn. If you look at our income, we have 61 and our monthly kind of less than 1, so it's a very quick way to bankrupt you. Then they just kind of leave, which it doesn't get you anything. Holy orders come a little bit later, help with when you're fighting against other religions. Again, you can see we can raise 3, our vassals can raise 20 ships. There's no water warfare, it's just basically assumed you miss each other, I guess. They just didn't want to code it, I'm assuming, which is fine. So ships are just used for transportation. Intrigue. Okay, here's where we can find some plots, and we can look at what prisoners we have and what threats we have against us. We can also do some things like we can legalize our bastard, so that he would be legitimate, and then we would actually have a direct male heir. I haven't looked at his stats yet, so I don't know if I want to do that. You can also do little things like hold a fair, go on a hunt, hold a feast, and you can also basically hire. We're going to start with a plot here. Oh, we don't need a plot right now, sorry. We want something else. So, there's no factions against us. Factions are what your people under you can join together to. So let's say they want an independent faction. They're all pissed off at us and they want to join it. They want to create an independent faction. So this guy here takes his 301 troops and they all join in. They join the independence faction. They come to us and say, hey, we want to be independent. If not, we're going to fight you. We say no, obviously, because we're dicks, and they fight us. And right now, they would win. Then we got religion. We're in the Catholic Christian faith right now. Moral authority is kind of the worldly strength of your religion. Right now, it's just basically the Catholics and the Muslims. We can appoint our successor to the vassal because we must have. We must have direct control. Usually, usually the Pope has direct papal control in appointing successors, but we must have control still. Make an anti-Pope, but it's just another little advanced option that we'll get to eventually. Okay, so let's actually take a look at this bastard of ours. He's still a kid, which means he doesn't have his profession yet. Once he turns 16, he'll get his profession. he is gregarious, which is nice. So we'll see how he goes ahead and performs. I educate him.